Hi students, welcome back to our science class. Today we are going to discuss some natural phenomena, chapter 15. This is a physics chapter. In class 7, you read about winds, storms and cyclones. You learned that cyclones can cause a lot of damage to human life and property. And also we can protect ourselves from these destructive phenomena to some extent. In this chapter, we shall discuss two other destructive natural phenomena. They are lightning and earthquakes. We shall also discuss what steps we can take to minimize destruction caused by these phenomena. In this video, we are going to discuss about lightning. You might have seen sparks on an electric pole when wires becomes loose, right? This phenomenon is quite common when a wind is blowing and shaking the wires. You might also have seen sparks when a plug is loose in its socket. Lightning is also an electric spark, but on a huge scale. In ancient times, people did not understand the cause of these sparks. They were therefore afraid of lightning and thought that the wrath of gods was visiting them. Now, of course, we understand that lightning is caused by the accumulation of charges in the clouds. We need not be afraid of lightning, but we have to take precautions to protect ourselves from the deadly sparks. The sparks that the Greeks knew about. The ancient Greeks knew as early as 600 BC that when amber was rubbed with the fur, it attracted light objects such as hair. You might have seen that when you take off woolen or polyester clothes, your hair stand on ends, right? If you take off these clothes in the dark, you see even a spark and hear crackling sound. In 1752, Benjamin Franklin, an American scientist, showed that lightning and the spark from your clothes are essentially the same phenomenon. However, this realization took 2000 years. We shall now study some properties of electric charges. We shall also see how they are related to the lightning in the sky. Charging by rubbing. Let us perform some activities to understand the nature of electric charges.
Charging by rubbing. Effect of rubbing. We all know that a plastic comb, when rubbed with dry hair, acquires charge. It can attract objects. When a plastic refill is rubbed with polythene, it acquires small electric charge. Therefore, the process of acquiring small amount of electric charge is charging. The objects which acquire the charge are called as charged objects.
Lab activity. Aim: to find the effects of charged bodies which have been rubbed by various materials. Material required: a ball pen refill, a balloon, plain paper, a comb, a steel spoon, polythene sheet, woolen cloth, an eraser, etc. Procedure: take some objects like refill, inflated balloon, comb, etc., and rub the objects against materials listed in the table. In each case, bring the rubbed object near small pieces of paper and note whether they attract pieces of paper or not, and record the observations in the table by writing yes or no. Refill rubbed against materials like plain paper, attract pieces of paper, polythene sheet, attract pieces of paper, and woolen cloth, attract pieces of paper. Inflated balloon rubbed against dry hair, attract pieces of paper, polythene sheet, attract pieces of paper, and woolen cloth, also attract pieces of paper.
The object is comb. Plain paper is the material used for rubbing. It attracts the pieces of paper. The object is comb. Polythene sheet is the material used for rubbing. It attracts the pieces of paper. The object is comb. Woolen cloth is the material used for rubbing. It attracts the pieces of paper. The object is eraser. Dry hair is the material used for rubbing. It attracts the pieces of paper. The object is eraser. Polythene sheet is the material used for rubbing. It attracts the pieces of paper. The object is eraser. Woolen cloth is the material used for rubbing. It attracts the pieces of paper. The object is steel spoon. Plain paper is the material used for rubbing. It does not attract the pieces of paper. The object is steel spoon. Polythene sheet is the material used for rubbing. It does not attract the pieces of paper. The object is steel spoon. Woolen cloth is the material used for rubbing. It does not attract the pieces of paper. Here, some objects like refill, comb, eraser and inflated balloon, when rubbed with some specific materials, are able to attract light objects, like bits of paper, But some objects like steel spoon do not attract pieces of paper, even after rubbing.
So, we can say that when one object rubs with another, it acquires small electric charge. Similarly, small charge. These objects are called what? Charged objects. Now we can move to next topic, types of charges and their interaction.
A positive charge and a negative charge. How to identify the type of charge present on an object? Let's perform one more experiment by using the ball pen refill. Rub one refill with a piece of polythene and place the refill in a tumbler. Rub the other refill and bring it close to the first charged refill kept in the tumbler. You will observe that the two charged refills repelled each other. Now take two balloons, hang them in such a way that they do not touch each other. Rub both the balloons with a woolen cloth and release them. What do you observe? One charged balloon repels the other charged balloon. So let's proceed to the third phase of this experiment. Rub a refill and place in the tumbler. Bring an inflated charged balloon near the tumbler. What do you observe? A charged balloon is attracted to a charged refill. We can say that the objects made of same material repel each other, while the objects made of different materials attract each other. Hence, we conclude from the experiment that like charges repel each other, while unlike charges attract each other. It is a convention to consider the charge on a glass rod is positive when it is rubbed in a silk cloth. When this glass rod is brought near a charged straw rubbed on polythene, they both attract. Hence, a plastic straw is negatively charged. Transfer of charge.
So, we can say that there are two types of charges, positive charge and negative charge. The charges of the same kind repel each other, while charges of different kind attract each other. It is a convention to call the charge acquired by a glass rod when it is rubbed with silk as positive. The other kind of charge is said to be what? Yes, negative. The electric charges generated by rubbing are static. They do not move. They do not move by themselves. When charges move, they constitute an electric current. You have been reading about electric current since class 6th. The current in a circuit which makes a bulb glow, or the current that makes a wire hot, is nothing but what? Yes, a motion of charges. So, now we are moving to the next topic, transfer of charge.
Take an empty glass bottle. Take a piece of cardboard slightly bigger in size than the mouth of the bottle and make a hole in it and insert a metal paper clip. Open out paper clip and cut 2 strips of aluminium foil about 4 cm into 1 cm each. Hang them on the paper clip. Insert the paper clip in the cardboard lid so that it is vertically hanged. Charge a straw and touch it with the end of the paper clip. We find that electrical charge can be transferred from a charged object to another through a metal conductor. Touch the end of the paper clip gently with hand and you will find a change in paper clip and in the foil strips. They come back to their original state. Repeat charging of foil strips and touching the paper clip. Every time we observe that the foil strips collapse as soon as we touch the paper clip with hand. The reason is that the foil strips lose charge to the earth through your body. We say that the foil strips are discharged. The process of transferring of charge from a charged object to the earth is called earthing. Thus, earthing is provided in buildings to protect us from electric shocks due to any leakage of electric current.
In this activity, the aluminium foil strips receive the same charge from the charger refill through the paper clip. Remember that metals are good conductors of electricity. The strip carrying similar charges repel each other and they become wide open. Such a device can be used to test whether an object is carrying charge or not. This device is known as what? Electroscope. Thus we find that electrical charge can be transferred from a charged object to another through a metal conductor. Right? Okay. Then when we touch the paper strip, what happens? You will find a change in the foil strips. They come back to their original state. Then when we repeat charging of foil strips and touching the paper clip, every time you will find that the foil strips collapse as soon as you touch the paper clip with hand. Why does it happen? The reason is that the foil strips lose charge to the earth through your body. We say that the foil strips are discharged. Okay, the process of transferring of charge from a charged object to the earth is called what? Earthing. You are very familiar with earthing. Earthing is provided in buildings to protect us from electrical shocks due to any leakage of electrical current. Okay students, now we are moving to the last session, exercise. Give one activity that shows like charges repel each other. So you should write one activity that show like charges repel each other. And second one, write one activity that shows unlike charges attract each other. Third one, explain why a charged body loses its charge if we touch it with our hand. Thank you students.